I remember a young Barack Obama teaching a new seminar that he designed, Current Issues in Racism and the Law. And I'd befriended him the year before, asking for his help in trying to find a summer job that first year, and started going to lunch with him from time to time. And so he encouraged me to take his class. He wasn't as widely known as he is today, and so he had to recruit for students to take his course. And so I enrolled in his seminar that spring of '94. And in the study of that course, I came along a Supreme Court case, Plyler versus Doe. And it basically, the holding was that regardless of your immigration status, students, young people who come here are entitled to a public education in the United States. So this would have been in 1990, spring of '94, I had the class. So just about 22 years ago. And then in 2004, I was appointed the chairman of the State Board of Education. Comes up where there's a district that's saying, nope, these kids can't, undocumented kids can't come to our school. I'm like, time out. I studied this. I know for a fact that there's a Supreme Court case that says you can't do that. And so they sued us, and we were fighting back in court. And I shut down, first time it ever happened in the state of Illinois, I shut down their school district. And for 24 hours, the Elmwood Park School District ceased to exist. They had a big basketball tournament that weekend. And so this was a Thursday when we shut them down in Springfield at the state board meeting. And I didn't realize what a big deal this was going to be. Because next thing I know, Andy Shaw, who was the political reporter at Channel 7 at the time, next thing you know, he's got me in front of a television camera. I mean, and I got reporters coming to my law office, you know, all that stuff Friday morning. It was like a huge deal. And they said, you know, we can't play in the tournament if you don't reinstate us, because we don't exist as a school district, so you can't play. And it was the fear of not being able to play basketball that prompted their school board to say, okay, fine, we give in. They waved the white flag, and I called an emergency meeting of the State Board of Education that Friday afternoon. I ran to the Thompson Center, had the meeting, and we agreed to reinstate them. And so they could play basketball that night. In addition to learning about Plyler versus Doe from Barack Obama's class, I also took an immigration class my second year as part of a comparative legal studies abroad trip that we were doing to Mexico. And so Susan Zesch was an adjunct professor, still affiliated with the university to this day on the other side of the Midway. And I still remained friends with Susan, and she's a great immigration lawyer. And so given that it was going to be a immigration-based discussion, when we held the press conference announcing the decision to re-acknowledge and reopen the Elmwood Park School District, I asked Susan to come stand by me at the press conference, and she dropped everything and came and was able to address a few questions that some of the reporters had on specific issues of immigration law and the application of Plyler versus Doe. And so even in that moment, I had the education that Barack Obama had given me, you know, a number of years beforehand, but I also had my immigration professor standing right next to me, supporting me in my service efforts and to do the right thing by Illinois students. So I look back on that and thought, wow, that helped a lot of students. And since then, we've created regulations in Illinois where Plyler is codified in Illinois law and in regulation. And it's because of that class I had with Barack Obama back in 1994 that it armed me with that information, but also with the skills to be the chairman of the State Board of Education and to hopefully impact the lives of many students.